I'm Allie.
And I'm Becky.
We are registered dietitians that are passionate about using food as medicine.
In this video, we are going to show you guys how to spatchcock a chicken, and we're going to make a delicious one-pan easy meal.
Spatchcock is a preparation in which we will be cutting out the spine or the backbone of the bird. And this is going to allow even cooking distribution throughout the bird. Oftentimes, we're worried about overcooking or drying out that white breast meat and having undercooked dark meat, especially along the thigh here. And so when we spatchcock, we're going to break the breastbone and create equal surface space that also means really crispy, delicious, crunchy skin.
And this is a great way to do your Thanksgiving turkey as well, right?
Absolutely. So the first thing to do is to identify the backbone of the bird, and we can see right here is where that spine is. When you get your Thanksgiving turkey, often you're going to have that neck that's actually going to be separated with the organs, but the spine will still be intact. And so we're going to use some pretty industrial kitchen shears here and get these undone. And I'm just going to cut along the right and the left side of that spine. And the first time I did this, the first time I cooked a whole bird, you know, we really think when we're making bone broth and when we're incorporating organs into our diet that we are getting much more nutrient density when we're eating in this kind of snout to tail whole animal consumption approach. It also helps us to really have a more intimate relationship with the animal. Understand that this is, in fact, a bird. You're getting closer to a whole real food, but you're also going to get a lot of nutrients like glycine, which help to balance out the meat and muscle consumption when we consume skin and bone.
This is very different than like a boneless, skinless chicken breast that comes to you in a sterile looking package, or, you know, for kiddos, a chicken nugget. And I remember doing this as like a vegan rite of passage when I started eating meat. Byron was like, you need to learn to break down a whole chicken.
Yep. So this is that spine. Now I would actually, if I'm doing this in a large metal roasting pan, I would just set this off to the side and allow that to roast as well. And then this would be used in bone broth. But I'm going to set this aside. And then I'm going to flip my bird here and exert pressure on the breastbone or the sternum. There you go. One more good sized crack. And that should do the trick. So we're nice and flattened out here in that chest cavity. And we're gonna actually trim the wings as well. This is not a necessary step, but the tips of the wings always get burnt anyway, so you can just kind of cut those. And that is our flattened spatchcocked bird. Now we're going to be putting together some salt and pepper first. This was dried first. We patted it dry, and that's really important so that it's going to hold the seasoning. I'm going to dry rub salt and pepper on here and then mix together garlic. This is 3 to 4 cloves of chopped garlic along with softened and melted butter. Before I put that butter on the skin, now that it's salted and peppered, I like to loosen up the skin around the breast. This allows me to put some of that garlic butter. I'm also gonna mix in the fresh parsley. So the herbed garlic butter in directly on the meat as well as on top of the skin. So you get double buttery flavor explosion. Having that nice turgidity of skin and being able to spread this buttery goodness under here is a mark of a healthy bird, for sure. All right, so now that the butter and garlic and parsley is spread throughout the bird, I'm gonna do one final liberal sprinkle with our mineral-rich Redmond real salt, and we'll go on to the vegetables.
Over here, we're gonna go ahead and roughly chop 3 carrots. And this makes it a really nice, you know, root vegetable. You get the caramelization of the carrots, but you could use any root veggie of choice. You could throw in, you know, some small potatoes if we were doing a little bit more carb. And then we're adding in Brussels for a cruciferous veg. And I'm just slicing them in half like this. You're also going to get a lot of good pan contact with these vegetables.
And some of those larger ones I sliced in 4 slices maybe. I like them nice and crunchy.
All right, and then we've also taken an onion and cut it into about 6 segments here, or you could quarter an onion if it's a little bit smaller. So all of this I'm gonna pop in to a bowl, drizzle with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then I'm gonna get my hands in here. So this dish, you're getting kind of messy, right? We're getting our hands, we're getting intimate with our food.
Yes.
That's part of the process.
Put some real energy and love into that dish. Also, when I think about Thanksgiving, I think this is a great time to have all the family involved.
Right. All right, so we've got everybody kind of glistening in here. Got that oil nicely distributed. And then I'm adding some more salt and pepper to these vegetables. And then I'll just go ahead and massage that in, toss it again. All right.
All right, and then we will actually start roasting the bird first, and then after we've done about 20 minutes, we will add these vegetables into the pan, and that will liberate some of the nice caramelization and browning of flavor, some of the juices of the chicken, and then that'll also aid in roasting the veg. Okay, so we've pulled the chicken from the oven at the 20-minute mark, and I'm just going to be using a pastry brush here, or a basting brush, and I'm just going to take some of those drippings and coat this on the skin. We purposefully do this to, again, release some of the flavor profiles for the veg to go in, and then Becky, you want to start tossing some of those in. And we're just going to put in enough veg that it's not overcrowded. Ideally, we would be actually preparing this in a metal roasting pan, and this is going to create more of that Maillard browning effect, or the caramelization of flavor, but we definitely want to have enough contact with any form of pan to do so. So the remaining veg, we're just gonna be kind of spreading out. This is probably larger than necessary, but we're gonna put that in a stainless steel cooking sheet. We're gonna return this all to the oven for about 25 minutes. And at that time, we will pull the bird out to rest, but then keep roasting those vegetables for another 15 to 20 minutes as the bird is resting and being carved, because those vegetables will require about 40 to 45 minutes total cook time. And then everything is ready to rock at the same time.
And that little bit of extra time while your bird is resting will give you some time, if you are doing like a Thanksgiving turkey, to go ahead and make the gravy with your pan dripping. So in which case you would pull all the veg over to your stainless steel roasting pan and pull from the chicken or turkey drippings.
All right, so we pulled the bird out of the oven at that additional 20-minute mark once the vegetables were added. And I took my little basting brush and just put a little bit of the juicy goodness on top here. And we want to make sure that it temps at 160 when you insert it after pulling it from the oven, because the temperature is actually going to go up about 5 to 10 degrees over that 10 to 15 minute resting window. So we're going to actually pull the bird out of the pan here so that it can rest. Ooh, there we go. And we're going to take that leg off in the carving process anyway, no issues there. And then I'm going to just transfer, let's put those into the juicy goodness. Yeah. They got a little bit toastier, the drier ones that just had the olive oil. And so now we'll mix all this veg together, because again, we're not making a pan sauce or a gravy. Otherwise, we would transfer these vegetables into there and use these drippings to reduce into a pan sauce. But for now, we're just gonna let this veg roast for another about 10 to 15 minutes while the bird rests, and we will have an easy one-dish meal for the whole family.
If you like this video, go ahead and hit like below. Be sure to subscribe to the Naturally Nourished YouTube channel to make sure that you don't miss one of our bi-weekly releases. And we're going to go ahead and give you guys a special code for our YouTube subscribers to use on our 12-week meal plan. The meal plan actually features this spatchcock chicken recipe, which the recipe is also below for you, but we've also got 12 more weeks of additional recipe content. So everything from smoothies and breakfast to delicious salads for lunch to dinners for the whole family. We made them in portions of 4 to feed the whole family for the dinner portion of the meal plan. You also get the meal plans released in a weekly drip to your inbox. So you'll get them once a week to remind you, hey, it's time to grocery shop and plan your meals. There's a weekly challenge included with every single week, and you can use the code YTMP5 for $5 off.
Yes. So for just $45, well, only $40 with that $5 off savings, you get over 12 weeks of our approach to doing nutritional ketosis with food as medicine. So if you've been doing a keto diet, but you've hit a roadblock, or you want to get more antioxidants and phytocompounds, or you're new to keto and keto curious, this is a great place to start. So use the code YTMP5 and we know that you'll be sure to enjoy it. Flavor Town. Take it to Flavor Town.